Ever since I was just a little cowpoke, I have always dreamed of becoming a farmer. I can remember visiting my grandpa's farm and thinking about how cool it would be if your only job was to hang out with cows all day. But now that I'm finally old enough, I realize that there's a problem with this idea. Profitability. If I want to be able to chill out with cows all day, I need to make enough money to pay my bills. However, every farmer that I ask has told me that there's no money in farming, which had me thinking, when was farming ever profitable? And according to Google, it was in the 1970s. But according to TikTok, it was around that time that you can purchase a home for 3 cans of corn. So times have changed, and due to inflation, it seems like farming might not be profitable anymore. But they don't call me Mr. Beef for nothing. Here's the plan. I'm going to turn $0 into a profit of $1,000 using cattle. If I can do this, I will have proven to the world that farming can be profitable in 2025, and I'll be well on my way to hanging out with cows all day. First, I need to figure out how to buy cows without money. This may prove to be difficult. In order to make money on a farm, you need to be able to sell some sort of produce. In this case, that would be beef. So I set out to pre-sell as much beef as I could in order to buy a cow. And like anyone would, I pre-sold $2,700 in ground beef using social media and a website that I had built. Yeah, that's right. This wasn't my first rodeo. Next, I picked up a steer that I had agreed to purchase from a farmer once I had enough cash. We agreed on a price per pound, but neither of us were totally sure how much that animal would actually weigh. Turns out it was pretty close. I mailed him a check for $2,650 and delivered the steer to the processor. Now with only $50 to my name, I had to get to work selling as much of the beef as I could before I got my invoice from the processor for the processing cost, which would be about 3 weeks later. However, we had absolutely zero sales in the meantime, which means I had to spend around $900 of my personal cash to cover the processing costs. Meaning at this point, we were at exactly negative $850. Then we had to ship out all the orders that we had pre-sold, which cost around another $200, putting us at negative $1,050. But they don't call me Mr. Beef for nothing. Over the next few months, I got to work spamming every Facebook yard sale page within 100 miles of my location. It wasn't without catching a few strays. I ran into the unthinkable. That's right, his name is Kenny. And every time I make a little post in order to try and sell some beef, I get absolutely dunked on by Kenny. But it did drum up enough business to get us to break even by September. Follow me for more financial advice. And you'll be happy to know that in the last month we have finally finished selling all of the beef from that steer. Meaning we finally have the answer to the burning question everyone's asking. Is farming still profitable in 2025? Also, how much did Mr. Beef really make in the $0 to $1,000 in 90 days challenge? The answer? Yes. Oh, also $670 in profit. But I donated $1,000 to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital during the 50 States in 50 Days challenge because I thought we were going to reach $1,000 profit. So actually kind of, and minus $330. Thanks for watching.